I have a couple where the female withdrawer uses appeasing. The husband has experienced it as lying. So when she shares in session, he doesn't believe it, even if she says it through tears. Does this chronic appeasing possibly constitute an attachment injury? How would you handle this in stage 1?
My mind doesn't necessarily go to attachment injury. Sue is very specific about an attachment injury being a discrete event. But where my mind goes with this client is this man's fear. And why I go to fear is that he's rigid in his stance to his partner's appeasing, and now with support, of course, withdrawers appease, they placate. And that's their coping strategy because that's better than feeling and being told I'm a failure.
Is that a case if that appeasing is a coping strategy?
Yeah.
Would you reflect that for the two of them so that the husband didn't see it as like some character flaw, like you appease? No. Okay.
Yes. And then I would reflect it, and I have reflected it because I've had a few clients over the years where the partner, in this case, this man, would accuse his female partner of being a pathological liar.
Oh.
And it wasn't about lying. It was about avoidance and having to avoid the discomfort. And so would cope by placating, appeasing, and occasionally outright lies, but as a way to placate and appease. And so you'll get to know that withdrawer's coping strategies, and you have to help them understand that that's a sign that they're in some pretty big distress because that coping strategy costs them a lot, right? It costs both partners a lot. So now the question's about the male partner in this case, where my mind goes, instead of attachment injury, he's too scared to trust his partner's truth now. And that makes perfect sense. Unprocessed fear makes us rigid, which will look like I've been injured.
His not believing, even through tears, her experience, emotions, whatever, is because he has unprocessed fear.
Yeah, all the times that he's been placated, it doesn't feel good. People know when they're being appeased. People know when they're being placated. They just want the truth. Just tell me the truth. And so at this question, he's determined the truth is she just doesn't want to be with me. And that for him is safer than actually having a little crack in the defense and the rigidity, a little crack of, oh my God, maybe she's just been placating me, appeasing me to stay in contact with me rather than lying to me.
That's the reframe that you want.
That's the coping strategy. That's the reframe. That's what we're working towards in de-escalation with this couple. We need to help them each see they're caught in their individual coping strategies, which pull them apart, and they're getting more extreme. And then, of course, humans make meaning about these more extreme coping strategies. She's just lying. She must not want to be with me. And his fear, understandably so, will just make him less and less open to words from her, even if now they're said with congruent emotion, with the clinician's help, and we would want to help him hold his fear. It's too risky to even think she might be telling the truth. It's just too risky. Let's address the risk.
Yeah. Okay. Let me push pause just for a second and back up. So the reframe that we're looking for in stage 1, her appeasing is how she copes with her fear of disconnection.
Yeah, and maybe more specifically, her fear of letting him down and being a failure and being told she's inadequate one way or another. That's agonizing for a good human, right?
It's agonizing, right?
And so suddenly the placating and appeasing is understandable, not painless because it's painful, but it makes sense. From an attachment theory, attachment protest, this is what we're working toward in step 4 of stage 1. Like helping the couple reframe their distress in attachment terms. She's not a liar. She's been coping.
Okay, and then how might you reflect that unprocessed fear makes us rigid?
Yeah, like I can totally understand how she ends up placating and appeasing. And I can so understand how that makes her partner, this man, rigid and in looking like he's been injured. And from an attachment injury perspective. So instead of, for me, the meaning, I don't go to attachment injury, I go to he's scared to trust her, which makes perfect sense because he hasn't known what data from her is trustworthy or not.
And so and you would say that.
Yeah, I would be talking all over this, repetitively, because it's going to take some repetition. This is risky for you, male partner. This is super risky. Of course you're rigid. Of course you feel closed up. No way, never letting her, even now with congruent emotion and words and everything's congruent, even now you say to yourself, tell me what you say to yourself. Don't risk, don't let it in. You've been duped before. You've been fooled. You thought last time it was going to be okay, but it flipped and it turned out it wasn't. For 3 minutes, you thought it was okay, and then it went back to appeasing. That's the drama of this couple's distress, that you go into the drama and help them see the attachment protest and all the understandable attachment behaviors that make sense. They love each other, but they can't get connected. And good humans do funny behaviors when they can't get connected. I get this animated with the couple because it's like, wait, you guys, wait, let me lean in. Let me insert myself. Let me get in here, because I can't just have you keep arguing back and forth, because each of your perspectives makes perfect sense, but it's going to keep you far away from each other.
Yeah. And one of the words that stands out for me that you just said was repetition. So I think that's really important. So it's not like I reframe this once, you guys, in a session or in a series of sessions. You might have this reframe 20 times, 30, in different shorthand, longhand ways throughout the session. It's over and over and over again.
His limbic system has no business believing a few reframes from a clinician who's well-meaning but an outsider. His survival is at stake here. That's how it feels to him. And so he's not gonna, so it's gonna have to be experienced experientially, and we're the surrogate processor and we come alongside. Wait, male partner, if I'm you get right in there intrapsychically. In a stage 1 kind of way, right? Shallow end of the pool.
Yep. Great.
For more hot tips on emotionally focused therapy, go to theeftcafe.com and sign up for our newsletter, where you will receive short little clips like the one you just watched.